I suggest turning off the comment sections of all web boards if you make a video on YouTube. Why? Because no good can come from it anymore. There's just no more common sense and empathy and understanding that live in the majority. It exists on the outskirts of society in circles of kind, caring, compassionate human beings, yes, but you are now in the minority, so you have to take steps to protect yourself. This is not a selfish act, however, quite the contrary. Kindness and consensus are extremely rare these days, and this kind of high vibrational energy only comes from people with high emotional intelligence. You can't even say water is wet without someone calling you an idiot, and then someone calling that person an idiot, and then boom, the dialectic. Divide and conquer. This is the go-to move of the controlling elite, and it's extremely effective due to our own narcissism, reptilian brain association, and ego identification. This is psychological warfare and social engineering, pure and simple. And because of this, our entire culture is sick. This virus of the mind has emotionally drained us of our soul energy. So we must learn to protect our vital force by first admitting this exists and then shielding ourselves from it. What people call normal is often psychopathic behavior by people that Michael Tsarian calls psychic vampires. These people live off your talent, your energy, your pain, and your suffering. This can also be a direct metaphor to the financial system. The people who are shunned in this society are often mega-talented, gifted, kind, artistic, and even psychic. These are what I call natural, organic humans. They are picked on and bullied by conformist, hive-mind, groupthink morons that people call the popular kids in school. But it's nothing more than mind control and programming. If these idiots saw a video of how much they conformed, stripped themselves of soul and individuality, and bent over for the system like mind-controlled robots, they might be horrified, although probably not. They would just take a selfie in front of Ground Zero, smiling with their duck-faced friends, and post it to Instagram. This never changes, no matter how old you get and how far removed from high school you are. That is because our culture is backward and inhumane. Our very culture is afflicted by this virus that Native Americans call Wetiko. It's a virus of the mind. It's a disease of the collective consciousness. It is the parasite of our culture. The only way to counteract this is for each individual to face their demons and go through the dark night of the soul. Oftentimes years of internal psychological investigation and self-analysis. It's tough, but it's crucial. Most people aren't going to want to do that. It's the last thing that they have time for or want to do. So it's up to a small percentage of people to pick up the slack. So back to YouTube. You worked hard on your video. You spent 8 hours creating and posting it. It's not just the haters I'm talking about. It's the fact that it often descends into madness and imprints your video with contaminated energy when you allow comment boards to be open. If people had common sense, I'd be all for comment sections because interactivity is a good thing on paper, but in practice, you have people laying energetic traps for each other, not just for those who comment, but even for those who read the comments. Studies have shown that just watching someone do a kind, selfless act for another human releases feel-good endorphins into your body and literally changes your body chemistry. So just the act of watching it makes you feel better. Likewise, the act of reading the weaponized words of sociopaths and bullies triggers the reptilian brain to take over. You have a psychological fight-or-flight mechanism of protection that takes over your body chemistry. This is true for the troll, the responder, and the observer, and it often spirals into inanity. No resolution or consensus or anything really good can happen from these random and very oftentimes brutal assaults and verbal attacks that people have. It just creates more of that dialectic. Therefore, the high frequency you intended is brought low by the words and intentions of mean-spirited people operating at low, distorted, egocentric frequencies. It lowers the impact of your initial intention imprinted to your original video. The vibrational frequency you intended is being changed and altered forever. There is a reason that making a word is called spelling a word. It's casting a spell. Comment boards these days usually devolve into forums for bullying and sociopathic behavior. The very people you are trying to reach and communicate with are the last people who want to be a part of this process. So I say, Turn off the comment sections and let the haters hate somewhere else. It's like protecting your children by monitoring the kids they hang out with. You don't want to let your kid become best friends with a psychopathic criminal, so don't let your art be defaced and ruined by people who feel the need to put others down in order to feel better about themselves. Always ask yourself, am I vibrating with the control system, even though I'm railing against them? Even hating the haters still makes you a hater. Are you focusing most of your time and energy on the problems or the solutions? It's something I struggle with every day, and it's really hard to remember this on a daily basis, but we must. Even if we destroy the destroyers, we become destroyers ourselves, taking the place of these avatars, creating a new vessel for this virus of the mind. I'm not saying don't delve into these areas of research and these dark rabbit holes. I think that's extremely important, but once you have that knowledge, what do you do with it? That's the key. We need to be transformers of energy, taking negative and turning it into positive, an equal and opposite reaction. It works like noise cancellation technology. Every Hollywood movie wants you to justify the murders committed by the good guy because the bad guy did him wrong at some point. Therefore, you are still vibrating with the frequency of murder. You cheer it on because you think it's justified. That is an illusion. That is black magic to get you onto that frequency. They want you to tune into their radio station within their frequency range so that they can control and manipulate you. But if you refuse to live there or tune into their program, you are free of their control. You can literally feel the difference. You are not giving them the permission or spiritual acquiescence based on your vibrational frequency. So I suggest putting your video and your truth out there into cyberspace, and those that need to hear the message will somehow be attracted to it electromagnetically. Those that don't need to hear it will be repelled like a magnet. Remember, the truth is always good, no matter how bad the news. This is Jeff Bird with Radio Mysterium.